People responding to what they've seen out of Minnesota. This is a shot here near 400 South and State Street as people took to the streets. Now, they originally gathered at the Federal Wallace building. Among the crowd was Democratic State Representative John Arthur, who is demanding to dismantle and abolish ICE.
We are America, and that's why we are rising together today. America is the resistance. And together, we are screaming, no more ICE! Let me hear you! No more ICE! One more time! No more! One more time! No more ICE!
The protesters are demanding for ICE to no longer be funded and instead put that money toward education. Actress Natalie Portman was at Sundance this week wearing an ICE Out pin, and she shared her thoughts on the protests in Minneapolis.
It's impossible to ignore what ICE is doing to our country, and I'm very inspired, though, by all of the amazing, amazing Americans who are coming out and supporting each other and being there in community. It's beautiful.
Anti-ICE protests raging in Minneapolis after another deadly shooting involving a federal agent who DHS says was acting in self-defense. Governor Tim Walz pointing a finger at President Trump, demanding that, quote, violent, untrained officers be removed from his state immediately.
Yeah, good morning. Thanks for having me. I've worked in Minnesota for the past 20 years, right? And yesterday was another unfortunate incident. You know, no officer wakes up in the morning and hopes to have to use any type of force, let alone deadly force. And now this happened, and again, this happened because of kind of what we're seeing around here with a lot of these agitators, these vigilantes kind of surrounding the officers on the street. It's like nothing I've ever seen before working here in the past 20 years. And when we're out there, we have no problem with, you know, the public watching what we do, filming what we do, talking to us while we do it. But there is that line, though, when they start to impede and get in situations where, frankly, we don't want them to be, we can't have them to be kind of in our workspace. That's when we have issues. You know, unfortunately, too, some of the agitators that are doing it, they're not peacefully protesting. Some of the things that our officers hear on a daily basis getting screamed at them, you know what I mean? I just commend their professionalism as they go along, because they're getting bombarded with this from megaphones. We're seeing threats. We just had a threat last night again. I've had to go through threats and reading them that they were coming after people's families, going to burn their houses down, burn their families alive. These are the type of threats that the officers are facing. And that's not a peaceful protest. Those aren't peaceful assemblies at all.
I'm your neighborhood reporter, Sahana Patel, at an emergency protest aimed at opposing ICE operations. Thousands of neighbors in Boise joined protesters across the country, calling for accountability after Alex Preddy, a U.S. citizen and ICU nurse, was shot and killed by a federal immigration officer.
I want to be an ICU nurse, and I just kind of saw a lot of myself in him, and I could see, you know, that could be me. As a Mexican person, as someone who came from a family of immigrants, and a healthcare worker, like, this is just disgusting on so many levels.
Every single day, some new attack.
Morgan Nix, an organizer with the Party for Socialism and Liberation, says the demonstration drew inspiration from the economic strike held in Minneapolis.
There was no school, no shopping, no work, and hundreds of thousands of Minnesotans poured into the streets of Minneapolis to demand ICE out of their communities and justice for their immigrant neighbors.
The rally remained peaceful, and at least one counter-protester was spotted in attendance. Demonstrator Patrick Forrest says Preddy's death prompted him to leave his longtime political party and to contact Idaho lawmakers.
I had to leave the Republican Party, which I'm a veteran. I was part of the party forever. I'm done. I'm done. I cannot do this. This is not right what's happening to our citizens and people who are here just trying to make a better life. I'm just tired of it.
Some protesters say their concerns are not with immigration enforcement itself, but with how it is carried out.
It's not that we want to get rid of ICE totally. It's necessary to control our immigration, but the tactics that they are using are out of bounds with the rule of law.
Protesters say they want lawmakers to reconsider funding for ICE.
I believe Idaho cares strongly about budgets and money, and so I feel like this is something we should be aligned on. that dumping money into an inhumane and cruel organization like ICE is not where we want our money to go.